Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. I'm going to do a video because I think, per request from one of my subscribers, he had a question. And whenever I think of, I guess, a question that I think that the masses will benefit from, I'll just do a video as opposed to just responding to this particular or any subscriber. And the subscriber is James. How you doing, James? And I appreciate you supporting the purchase of my DVDs. And James' question was this, because in my DVDs, I mentioned, and actually in some of the videos I've done, I mentioned on how do I go about tabbing songs. Isolate, in my ear as far as listening to the bass line of a song, and then I audition chords around those bass notes. So he asked me if I could do a live demonstration. And from a technical aspect, it's kind of difficult to do that type of video. But what I want to stress is this, because I just realized this. James has just purchased my DVD, How to Play Rhythm Guitar. So it's a safe assumption that he's a beginner in the arena of playing guitar. So if that's the case, being able to tab a song the way I do it is light years ahead. Because it takes years, and let me say this before I make this statement. This statement is not to discourage anybody, it's just giving you a realistic time frame. So we don't know how quickly we can be able to do these things, or we think that we can do this now when actually it's going to be a long way off. It took me years to develop my ear, and how I developed my ear is just playing and playing chorus, and what I guess makes me a little different from some, not most, but just some. I was a bass player before I was a guitar player, and that's really important because most of us don't realize the close relationship that the bass player and the guitar player have, even the keyboard player. The bass player is kind of the centerpiece to me, and this is my opinion, because it depends on what notes he's playing is going to determine what chords you're playing. It's just that simple, but a lot of people have not made that connection. And it's a little easier for me because I can come from a bass player's aspect as well as a guitar player's aspects, and a little keyboard player aspects, and the drum aspect. So it's a little easier for me, but what I can suggest for James and other people that are just starting, who just purchased my DVD lessons, study the package and don't worry about tabbing at this point, because your ear has not developed to that point where you can listen to the bass notes, determine what notes they are, and then audition these chords around the bass note. So my recommendation is just, this is the Bible here, the Guitar Bible. Study this thing, just these two inversions. Because what is going to happen is this: if you follow this sequence, you receive the package and you start to, get used to the chord chain or the fingering of these chords in two different inversions. The chords that are built on the E string, the chords that are built on the A string. Just keep practicing till you kind of get these down and can memorize them. But how you memorize them is this: once you kind of get the fingering down, you get some sheet music, some simple stuff that's just 3 chord songs, and you see like C major 7. You say, okay, I'm going to play this C major 7 built on the A string, or depending on the tonality or your preference, on the E string. And when you keep doing that, you start to develop your ear. You get to the point where you can distinguish certain types of chords. Because for me personally, I can spot out of a crowd of 1 million people the sus 4th chord dissolving into the major. I can hear it. It's very distinctive. To me, the major 7 chord is very distinctive when I hear it, because I hear it in the 99 to 100% of the R&B songs, especially of the 50s and 60s. Now in the 2017, it's the minor 7 chord. I'm actually going to do a video tomorrow entitled, and you might want to check this out, it's entitled Old School Chords versus New School R&B Chords. And I'm going to give you a distinction between the chords they use in these R. Kelly songs versus the chords they use in the stylistic song. They're different. It's a different set of chords now. But again, I can't stress more, build. Sometimes again we don't realize we light heads away and we're trying to tackle something that we can't tackle until down the road. And we don't know this. But my recommendation for you beginners is, if you got this package, study these two. Learn these inversions, the 2 different inversions, because it's only like 5 chords, and then you have to learn the inversion on another string, on the A string, same 5 chords. So it's not like it's 10 chords, it's just 5, but you're doing 2 different inversions. Keep practicing that. And how you learn these chords quickly is this: once you start playing songs, You know, you're moving all over the place, and you start to memorize these chorus placements because you're playing these songs. You know, and that's how I learned. So hopefully this video has been able to be some type of a help as far as clarity, as far as I want to do this. It's like we're at the stage you're playing. Let's focus on this, and you get to this eventually. Because again, if you're just starting, you're not going to be able to tab and match up notes and chords because you're not at that stage yet. But again, not trying to discourage anybody, because you will get there. I'm proof of that. We all go through that. Anybody that plays guitar and play it well now, they was at that stage at some point. But eventually you will get better. You start to learn things. Things start to make sense to you, and you become a good guitar player. So a good musician. So until next time, take care. And thank you all, you guys, for the support of my channel.